Hey guys, so today I'm just going to talk really briefly about the brachial plexus. As we know, the brachial plexus is basically a network of nerves that runs from the spine, and it's formed by the anterior rami of the lower four cervical nerves and the first thoracic. So basically it's made of C5, C6, C7, C8, and T1. And just really briefly, it basically arises from the neck and runs through the cervical axillary canal, which is a passageway that extends between the neck and the upper extremity to reach the axilla and obviously the upper limb, because the main function of the brachial plexus is to supply the region of the upper limb, and all the muscles receive innervation from the brachial plexus. Okay, so basically right here we see that it's made out of different segments as it branches down. And a good mnemonic to remember it is remember to drink cold beer. So remember stands for the roots, two stands for the trunks, drink stands for the divisions, cold, C, stands for the cords, and B stands for all the branches. And as we see here, basically it has 5 terminal branches. We're gonna go through them. And in addition to the terminal branches, it has several pre-terminal branches that arise at different points along its length. So we're gonna go through all of them. So to start off, here we see the roots, and what happens is that, so we have the first 2 roots, which is C5 and C6, they combine together to form the upper trunk. C7, the root continues on its own to make the middle trunk, and C8 and T1 combine to form the lower trunk. So here we have the upper, middle, and lower trunk. Okay, so from here, each trunk gives 2 branches, or 2 divisions, I should say, the anterior and posterior. So here the upper trunk gives anterior posterior, middle trunk gives the anterior and posterior division, and lower trunk also gives anterior and posterior. So here it looks complicated, but really what happens is that the anterior divisions of the upper and the middle combine together. So here we have the anterior division of the upper and the anterior division of the middle combined together to give the lateral cord. And then we have the posterior divisions of all 3 trunks. So here we have the posterior division of the upper trunk, posterior division of the middle, and posterior division of the lower combined together to give the posterior cord. And then the anterior division of the lower trunk continues on its own to give the medial cord. And then after the cords are made, we obviously have the terminal branches. So if we look at the branches, the lateral cord continues or gives the musculocutaneous right up here. And then it also gives the lateral limb or the lateral head of the median nerve. So the median nerve is actually made of 2 limbs. Here we have the lateral limb from the lateral cord and the medial limb from the medial cord. They both combine to give the median nerve. And then the posterior cord actually has 2 terminal branches. We have the axillary and the radial nerves. And the radial is the bigger of the 2 nerves. Okay, so if we look at the branches that arise from the different areas, let's just recap on the terminal branches. So we have the musculocutaneous, we have the median nerve, we have the axillary nerve, we have the radial nerve, and I don't know if I mentioned the ulnar nerve, sorry. The medial cord continues as the ulnar nerve. So those are the 5. If we go back and look here, we see that the branches that arise out of the roots, we have out of C5, we have the dorsal scapular nerve. We also have a nerve arising from C5, C6, and C7 and that's the long thoracic nerve, which innervates the serratus anterior muscle. Out of the upper trunk, we have two important ones. We have the suprascapular right over here, and right at the junction, we have the nerve 2 subclavius right up here. And if we look at the lateral cord, we have the lateral pectoral nerve. Posterior cord gives 3. We have the upper, middle, and lower subscapular. The middle is also known as the thoracodorsal. So right here we have the upper subscapular, middle subscapular or thoracodorsal, and lower subscapular, and it's written right over here. And the medial cord also gives 3 important branches. We have the medial pectoral nerve, we have the medial cutaneous nerve of the arm, and we have the medial cutaneous nerve of the forearm. So that's basically it for the brachial plexus, and for the next video, I'm gonna start going over the injuries that can occur. Thank you.